EURUSD saw yet another daily bearish candle close with progress being made with trade talks between the United Kingdom and the United States. Furthermore, the United States job market and inflation are in line with the expectations and with the overall targets of the Federal Reserve, as Powell mentioned on Wednesday. And furthermore, we're also seeing progress being made on tariffs between China and the United States. Now, these key three updates that I want to discuss in today's market outlook are: number one, President Trump announced a trade framework between the United Kingdom, which he pitched as a historic achievement. However, some say that it did fell short of a full and comprehensive agreement. Furthermore, the United States aims to reduce tariffs below 60% as a first step, which China may be prepared to match with progress possible as soon as next week. Any news announcements in regards to tariff progress being made between China and the United States will push the dollar up even higher. And the European Union is planning to impose additional tariffs on 95 billion euros of US exports if trade talks with the US administration fail to yield a satisfactory result. So we need to see progress being made between Europe and the United States. Otherwise, this could cause the dollar to dump once again. So keep an eye on any progress being made between Europe, China, and the United States. Now, looking here at EURUSD, we can perfectly see that our overall bias played out to absolute perfection. Again, we saw EURUSD sell off in towards the downside yesterday with around 100 pips. Absolute beautiful scenes. And again, the daily fractal structure playing out beautifully with the daily order flow remaining in control. Now, for now, this is our buy before the sell candle over here, from where I'll be looking for shorts once again. As you can see, the daily fractal high has now shifted and our current daily fractal high is now over here. So as long as this fractal high is respected, we should again sell off in towards the downside, back down lower in towards this area of demand over here, which is your sell before the big buy up. So beautiful analysis playing out. And here on the 4-hour time frame as well, what we can now see is that we have grabbed liquidity underneath this low over here, and we have now tapped into this imbalance that we had over here. So this imbalance is currently causing the market to push up higher. However, the overall immediate trend is in towards the downside. So I'll be continuously looking for shorts, and I expect this imbalance just to fuel a pullback before again further shorts in towards that overall daily area of demand, which we have slightly sitting lower. Now, yesterday's analysis again from the live stream played out to absolute perfection. I have been up a lot of percentages, guys, across all of my funded accounts on EURUSD shorts, which I've been sharing inside Discord. So if you're not in there yet, make sure to check out the link in the description down below. I shared there all of my MetaTrader screenshots, etc., so that you know that I'm actually trading what I'm talking. But you can see here the lines are still on the graph. We were looking for those shorts yesterday into the New York session, and it has played out to absolute perfection. Liquidity being grabbed over here, and then after this change of character in towards the downside, some beautiful shorts played out. With further downside being reached. So overall for EURUSD, what I'm now looking for is a pullback trade back in towards the highs before then again coming in towards these imbalances, and then looking for further shorts in towards the downside, as I expect still there to be some further downside for euro dollar, especially with now the progress being made between China and the United States. However, keep in mind, if there's no progress being made between Europe and the United States, this could still cause euro dollar to push up higher. But overall, I'm just looking for more shorts from this daily area of supply, which is the green zone over here. Now, moving onwards in towards the dollar index, we can see that the dollar has played out as well to absolute perfection. Our new area of demand is now this sell before the buy over here, from where I'll be looking for new long positions back up higher in towards around this, let's say buy before the sell. More specifically, this doji candle over here is kind of like my next target for the dollar index to push up higher in towards. So around 102 is kind of like my next target for the dollar index. And then once the market reaches that level, I'll kind of like readjust my overall analysis and see what is next for the dollar. So yeah, overall, some clean price action. It's logic that we're making a pullback after a massive impulse in towards the highs. So just look for another impulse in towards the upside once we make about that 0.5 fib retracement. So once we retrace in towards 0.5 fib and maybe like this imbalance candle over here, I'll be looking for more long positions as soon as we see like a lower time frame trend shift. So that's a dollar. Going into AUDUSD, we can see that the Australian dollar against the US dollar retraced down deeper, obviously with that dollar bullishness. Now AU has come back down in towards daily demand. So this might be a good hedge position against EURUSD and GBPUSD shorts. So you could look for some further upside inside of this area of demand. Now look here at the 4-hour time frame. What you would want to see now is exactly what we always discuss, guys. we want to see a change of structure. So the current fractal high, that is what needs to be broken. Once that breaks, then you form an area of demand, wait for the retracement in, and then, for example, go long on the next high break. That is kind of like what I'm looking to do here with AUDUSD, and then trade that as a hedge position against the euro dollar, and then back up higher in towards kind of like this daily liquidity high, which we have situated over here. So that's kind of like what I'm looking for on AUDUSD. Longs have not yet been ready, but once we see the 4-hour structural shift, so the current fractal high break, that is when I'll be getting into a long position once again. Now, I get a lot of questions, by the way, about this indicator. It is not public yet. It will be public in the near future. Announcements will be done inside Discord, link in the description once again of this video. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for in AUDUSD. Only longs once we break the 4-hour fractal structure. If you're a little bit more aggressive, then obviously you can already trade the 1-hour time frame over here, because as you can see, the overall downtrend which we had here on Aussie dollar has now pretty much been broken, with this line over here being broken, and again a second fractal break. So now maybe if we see strong candle close, you could go long from this area of demand, and I would place your stop loss a little bit safer somewhere over here, just to be on the safe side of things. But again, my favorite pair is EURUSD at the moment, together with GBPUSD, because if we now look at GBPUSD, we can see that GU sold off again to take out that liquidity low, which I was discussing. So I took some profits on my positions on GBPUSD shorts. Overall, absolute beautiful scenes. Again, this is the perfect example of liquidity, guys. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful low. All of these lows above it, building up liquidity. And then what does it do? It raids the low. Obviously, yesterday, upon the interest rate decision in the United Kingdom, we saw a rally in towards the upside on GU. They cut interest rates in the United Kingdom, which is still a bear sign, but there was some bullish speaks about not further decreasing interest rates, which caused GU first of all to rally, but then it sold off aggressively with that dollar strength coming into the markets. Now, looking at GU, I am still looking for some further downside, guys. Overall, I am still looking at this daily fractal structure and this buy before the sell now to play out and to push pound US dollar down lower still. So still interested in some further shorts, but I did take off some risk off the table and took some profits last night underneath this liquidity low over here. But overall, GU is getting a little bit messy now. We are also creating a lot of descending highs over here to keep in mind, which is not always very nice. But yeah, keep that in mind. But overall, I am still interested for further sells on GBPUSD inside of the green zone. Going into NZDUSD, and then we're going to have a look at dollar yen and dollar Swiss. NZDUSD liquidated the overall range low, also looking good for somewhat of a rebound up higher once again after seeing a raid of kind of like the range low over here, grabbing a lot of liquidity. So it makes sense for it to push up higher again. But overall, still in a range, but it is obviously at the range lows. And after liquidating the range lows, it could be ready now to push up higher once again. But not a pair that I'm not a pair that I really like trading. But once we see like the 1-hour structural shift, which happens after breaking the current fractal high, then you could potentially get into some long positions once again on that bullish order flow. Now going into dollar yen and then dollar Swiss, dollar yen played out to absolute perfection, guys. You can see the overall demands on here on the daily time frame playing out. 4-hour time frame, what did we see? We saw a 4-hour fractal break over here, and as you can see, as soon as that happened, we just continued pushing up higher. Now on the retracement, I'll be looking for some more longs positions in towards the highs once again, once the 1-hour time frame kind of like slows down and shows us some bullish signs once again. Maybe take out these two lows and then look for some longs, or just form somewhere a demand base and then get that bullish order flow back in again. That's what I'm going to be looking for and keeping my eyes out for on dollar yen. Dollar Swiss is the same. Dollar Swiss pushed up higher. Beautiful daily candle close yesterday. Nice, strong and bullish. And I'll be looking for further upside on this thing. Still in those longs. It's moving slow as hell. It was up around 0.84% yesterday, but we need it to push up higher. And I'll be looking for that further dollar bullishness as long as the dollar fractal structure on the daily time frame, as I mentioned earlier in this video, plays out. And then last of all, we have, of course, gold. Gold pushed down lower again, following the overall immediate order flow as expected. Remember what I said, I was not really interested in those longs yet. I wanted to see a rate of this low. Now we've rated this low over here. Then what you see is that the market tends to start to slow down. Again, another liquidation event over here. And now I'm interested in looking for a rebound again to kind of like trade back up towards this high over here. So looking for some short-term longs again on gold for the rest of today. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day. Any questions, make sure to join the Discord server, link in the description, and I'll see you inside.